What the fuck is up, guys? NoChillBill here with a kind of Overwatch competitive talk. Sorry if you hear some background noise, and I'm kind of recording next to a busy road. So if you hear any excess noise, sorry. So today I just want to talk about an Overwatch competitive thing, and that thing is leaving Overwatch competitive matches. Now, it's not really about the person that's leaving the match, it's about what happens after it. So, if a person leaves a competitive Overwatch match, that person gets a penalty, they lose some competitive ranking points, and then for the match itself, a little thing pops up that says that a person has left your match. You will be able to leave in 50 seconds or so without penalty, but it will still count as a loss. And now, honestly, I find that to be very, very unfair because because you kind of automatically get a loss. I mean, it is possible to win a 5v6, but it is very unlikely to. I mean, you're down by a player. That's one less role that you don't have on your team. And if that player was, let's say, your healer or your tank, you're screwed unless someone changes into, or someone switches heroes. Now, this is mostly for single players, as in like people who play alone. Because if it's a team thing, then it's fine. If you have like at least 5 players, I'm pretty sure that with your communication, that's enough to beat 6 other people. However, for single people, it is going to be incredibly hard for them to come back from a person leaving their team because they have no communication. Sure, they can say that they need a healer, they need a tank with the dialogue settings or whatever, but all in all, you kind of know that you're fucked. So again, it's pretty much an automatic loss when someone leaves for good. And I find that to be kind of bullshit because it's I mean you're not expecting someone to leave your game. Heck, you might be going into a competitive match thinking, "Oh, okay. It's going to be a good game, a 6v6." But no, someone leaves and then you get an automatic loss. That's not fair. That's bullcrap. And that needs to change. Because, and even if you try to play normally with a player down, people are going to end up following suit and leaving just like those other players or that other player. And you'll end up by yourself. And then you're going to end up either staying or being like the rest of them and leaving the game, taking a loss. And that's not fair because you don't deserve that loss. It wasn't your fault that the guy left. You could be doing really good, but then a person decides to leave because he has to do something. It's his fault, not yours. You shouldn't take the loss because of something that you can't control. And I honestly think that this needs to be fixed. For example, I was in this gameplay I'm doing right now that I'm probably going to show. I was playing as a Reinhardt, right? And I was going ham. I was doing very well, but then we ended up losing the round. And when it was our turn to attack, everyone decided to leave. And I was the only one left. And then I kind of thought that was bullshit, so I didn't leave. I legitimately just stayed in the airship where you spawn and where you're pretty much invincible, and just stayed there as Widowmaker and just picked off people, as you can see if the clip already passed or not. And just a little tip, if this does happen to you, just stay. Especially if you're the ones attacking, because the longer you stay, the more XP, the time XP you get. And there's no point in leaving because you already know it's a loss, so just take the extra XP you get, and then there you go. You have a loss, but you got more XP rather than leaving and not having more XP. But anyway, that needs to change. And I thought of 2 ways that it could possibly be changed. But again, I'm just a normal person. I highly doubt it's going to be implemented, but hopefully someone sees this and catches on. So, one way I thought that this could be fixed, which is very unrealistic and highly doubtful, is that the whole team doesn't get affected. And by this I mean you finish the game, right? And for the people who stayed, they don't get affected. They don't get a loss, and their competitive points don't go down. But the people who actually won, it's the same as always. They reap all the benefits of winning a competitive match. And I think that would be fair because the winning side gets something and the losing side doesn't lose anything. Except for the people who left. They should be penalized, of course, for leaving the game. While the people who stayed, of course, nothing should happen to them. They should be completely untouched. Another way this could be fixed is if the people who stay and take the loss rather than leaving, they still get affected by the bad things you get from losing. However, it's cut somehow, as in like the amount of competitive ranking points that you lose gets like cut in half or a third or whatever. Because if you lose, either way, a ton of points get subtracted. Even if it's lost because one of your teammates left. And that's not fair. It shouldn't be subtracted like that, because losing normally is way different than losing because someone left. That's not fair. It should be different because in one instance you actually tried but lost, but in another instance there is no way of winning. So for the people who stay, I think the amount of points lost should be cut down a bit, because that's a bit too much for something you couldn't even control. And that's actually a bit more realistic that they could add, because it's just taking off the amount of points that you would lose. And I don't think it would be that hard to implement that. And I do think that it's more of a fair way to do matches like that for those types of match-leaving situations. Sorry, I lied. I actually had another way that could possibly fix this whole situation. Again, this is actually more unrealistic than the first thing that I said, and this thing is to completely just stop the match. Although it's unrealistic, I do think it's not that bad of an idea to just completely halt the match, because it's not right to give the opponents an easy win just because someone on your team left, and it's not right to be penalized because someone on your team left. So why not just stop the match and no one gets anything? Whether you're winning or losing, nothing happens. You don't get competitive points, you don't get a loss, you don't get a win, you don't lose competitive points, you don't gain competitive points. Everything's the same as always. That would be a bit more fair. But again, very doubtful and unrealistic that would actually be implemented. Those are the only things that I have thought of so far. And I highly doubt anyone would listen to this. But hopefully, with the shred of hope that this gets out somehow, because this honestly does need to change. Because leaving a game ruins the whole match. It mainly ruins it for the team with the person that left the match, and it even ruins it for the other team. Because for the team with the person that left, you're taking a loss and losing competitive points, and for the people who won, sure, you won, but you're losing the amount of XP that you earned because of some stupid person leaving a match. And that's pretty much why this whole thing is unfair for everyone. That's pretty much it, you guys. Sort of something I wanted to get off my chest. If you agree, feel free to leave a like or subscribe, comment on what you think, I don't know, do whatever. And yeah, until then, fuck off. And happy Overwatch competitive playing, and hopefully you guys don't get any people who leave your team. And also, please don't leave teams in competitive, because that just makes the game worse for everyone. Please don't. It just really ruins everything. And that's it.
No one can hide from my sight. The enemy has a teleporter. I see you.
It's a perfect day for some mayhem.
One shot, one kill.
60 seconds remaining.
Dans ma ligne de mire.
Seconds remaining.
We're running out of time.
Seconds remaining.
Move it.
Defeat. Play of the match.